good afternoon, good morning. Depends on your time and your location. This is Re Biafra TV, one of your own. I welcome you. As I welcome you, please endeavor to welcome one another also by turning the notification, like, and share the program. Or anytime that you are watching the program, the most important thing is to listen and also to share the message. Like the message, because once you like the message is going viral. That is how, and the why is very important at this stage that we are into. To every Biafran, please, I urge you, as you are joining me without wasting time, please endeavor to like and share the program. We are live and we are direct on this hour. In the movement that we are into, in this 21st century, we want to send a direct message to Buteuzo, those that he is calling anytime he comes out. Those like Israel, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, those men that he always called. I want to give you a message from them to you through the rule or the law that guides military, and through the law that guides when a new country is being declared, what the military has to do and what they are not supposed to do. And also for that particular military to know their rights, to know the class and where they belong, to know that military is under country or under a government, that a government is not under military. That is why we are here this wonderful night to send this message direct from them, those that Buteuzo always called, those that always, gentle the Yahoo, always called their name for them to come and rescue Biafran people. We want you to listen to this program without hatred, without any evil mind, without thinking about Ngozi Arabueze, without thinking about any other human being, but think the right of you to live at this stage that we are into. That is the program that we are here this night to send this direct message to Buteuzo, to Gentle, and all the Biafra Liberation Army. My message is a sincere message. My message is what all of you or all the ministers of the USB must carry along. If you are really sincere to yourself, and you need to ask yourself, did the military passes a government, or did government honor the military, or military under government? Or who is giving order to military? These are the message that we are here to pass this evening to those Buteuzo and Gentle the Yahoo and what they are claiming. For you also to know that whether you are endangering your own life and delaying the movement of your people, this is the time that we are into. And this truth must be told at all times. And this truth is always bitter. You know, that when it comes to Africa, the world will see us as those that they don't know what they are doing. They see us as those that they lack time having time to research. These are how the world see us. But that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, proving to them that it's no longer that place you put us or you see us is the way we are. That we are no longer there, that we have moved above that. That is why they know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa. They know two of them as a researcher in the world. So that is why we need to do this program this wonderful evening, or this wonderful morning, this wonderful afternoon, this wonderful night, wherever you are, for you to know that had I know or ignorant is not an excuse in the eyes of the law. I want to know that I don't know it. I never research you. I never come across of it before. That those things is not an excuse when the international community see what you are doing and how they are looking at you on your action and those videos that you are posting and all those utterances coming out from your mouth, those that you are calling their name. If it happens that they saw those videos, the question is, can those videos that you are making watch them, their name being called, or can those videos trigger them to call to rescue the Biafran people, or is there something that is going to delay the movement that we are into? As well, I want to take our time this evening to send this message. This message is from the UN, from EU, from AU, and from Israel and America. This is the law they are looking. That is why I said that this message is from them. This is the law that they are looking upon before they can act. They will not just jump and because of you carry flag, or because of you are claiming that you are fighting for a new country, that you are agitating, and because of that you agitate, that will trigger them to come and rescue you. These are the things we want to check this evening. That is also why we are sending this message direct to Buteuzo and to the Yawoo, for you to listen to this message this evening, so you may understand the routes you are playing, or all those things that you are saying, and what your actions and these things that you are doing, if it is what the world wants you to do at this stage, if it is what they are looking from you to be acting, is what you are acting. That is why when I said that the rules that leads to, that the law, that the criteria to get recognition for a new country is not what we are giving, it's not what we are doing. The only one we have to do here is what they called internal recognition of sovereign states, that we as the people of Biafra must recognize ourselves first as people of United States of Biafra. This is how the world, and this is what the world are looking from our hand. So we are the first people that's supposed to do what? Give ourselves that internal recognition that we are looking from the hands of the world. Because the world are not going to fly. They are not going to jump all the existing protocol for them to come and hear that, oh, that gentle Yawoo is calling America, so because of that they will come. It doesn't work like that. And it depends on the area and the level where you are and calling them. It may trigger them to see you as a rebel. It may trigger them to look at this terrorist man calling me. That is how you present yourself. And there is those that will present you, the world will listen to you. Presentation is not what everybody is doing. There is a word, there is a things that you have to present in the eyes of the international community. That when you present those things, they will understand you and see you as someone who are responsible. You must prove that you are responsible by yourself before someone out there will look at you and say, oh, he is responsible. This is a pure truth that I want us to deliberate this evening or this night or this morning, afternoon, evening, depend wherever you are. My only plea to you that for you to just do what? Like the program, share it, let it go viral. Also, put your comment. I see you, Bridget, green from here. I see you, Chigozie, my brother. Thank you so much. I see you. We have a movement. We have things to do. And how are we doing those things? How the movement is, who is leading the movement matters so much. The time that we are into has passed what we think and the way we are seeing those things. Gabriel, good evening from here. See you. The time that we are into, and in this 21st century, many things have changed. The things are no longer the way it was in the era of the colonial masters. In this 21st century, started from 2001, that they start counting 21st century, many things has changed. And we must follow those change. And we must listen to those change. We must listen to the instruction, their guideline. There is one particular law or one particular convention that are controlling the entire military, whether the existing country or the one that just get declaration that lack recognition, the one on the paper. The same law controls all of them. The same law controls you and those in the existing country when it comes to this Geneva Convention. There is a lot about military of a new declared country that Geneva Convention has to teach us. And that is from where all the countries are picking what they are using. You see, the countries, the nations like the UN, EU, AU, United Nations, they put a criteria out already. And once you are not following those criteria, they will be seeing you as unserious human being. They will be seeing you as a rebel. They will see you as a thorough human being. They will see someone who is causing violence in the atmosphere. That is why we must adopt and follow those that have followed the road and the past. When you are on express or on the road, you are not only the one that has car or motorcycle or even bikes or even trekking. Human beings trek a line where those that use leg to trek. You see them trekking in line. You see cars trekking on that road that was not built. Or even if you know that road was built, you will see everybody moving according to the rules of the road. You will see people moving according to the rules of the road. You also see animals inside bush moving according to their track. That is why when you look at what we are doing, we as the Biafran people who believe in real declaration of the United States of Biafra must queue in line. They did not see us make these laws, despite that the world, that the corruption is looming everywhere. We must understand at this stage that we are into, do's and don'ts. We must follow those who know road. We must follow those that have passed this road that we are passing through today. That is one of the most difficult roads to pass. But when we apply the yardstick of those who have passed on this road before, we can be able to pass that road. We can queue in the line. When there is traffic, we pause. When traffic moves, you move. These are exactly the game this is exactly what we are passing through today. It's not by power of our own. No. It's not by what we think. No. It's about maintaining the standard of those that give recognition for a new declared country. It's also maintaining the standard of a military that those that want to recognize us will see and said, yes, the military understand the rule of engagement. They understand existing protocol. They are observing all the protocols and making people to know that it is the right thing and they are doing the right thing. It's not what I think. I will not stop saying that word. The issue of recognition is not what I think. The issue of declaration is not what I think. But there is those who have already mapped out this criteria for every citizens of the Biafrans to follow it up so they may understand how we as people of Biafra, we achieve what? Our recognition, which is very, very important at this that we are into. My message this evening is going direct to Gentle the Yawoo and Buteuzo to step their step back, to retrieve their step back. This second time that Chukwuka will give you a chance to survive is a time for you to change. It's a time for you to leave that bad way, or those bad talk, or those words that are meaningless, that doesn't help anything. Some actions that you have been taking, it's a time for you to stop. God give all of you second chance to make sure that all of you re-step your step and learn a lesson from what happened to you before. And it's also a time that all of you should know that government of a new country is not under the military. Rather, the military is under the government. Whether recognition or not recognition, all of the Biafra military are under the USB leadership. That's right now. The only standing out is Buteuzo Rebeze and all the cabinet members. These are the areas, these are the things that we must know. Check in the whole world, military, is he above the government? And who are those paying military money? It's not government. How this is our own. Military will be paying the indigenous people of Biafra, and military will be in charge. That is why we must drop this African mentality. That is why we must drop this ignorance that is in our life, because the ignorance is not an excuse in the eyes of law. Do not say it that I don't know. That is why I was doing it. It's not an excuse. The law will hold you in due time. So for you to run away from had I know, that is why I want to sincerely, humbly, no insult, no assault, to send this message from the UN, from the EU, from the AU, and US, and Israel, from the Montevideo Convention. They have message that I want to send to Buteuzo and Gentle the Yawoo and all the Biafran military. To every Biafran to understand, it is no longer the era where military is only way to achieve a new country, and because of military, you showcase their action and their work that triggers recognition. The world will turn back at you. Have any of you wondered why Kosovo today has never got recognition from a member of the UN? Have you asked yourself such a question? It's only when you ask and research you find out. Have you found out on your own why Somaliland was being delayed for many years? In this 21st century, any country, any group that are using military to showcase on social media, the world said, we are not going to recognize them at all. Sorry, my people. That is why we are doing this program this evening. So like I told you, we are going to take this program as we are going. So pay attention when we start sending those messages that I read, as I am laying my preamble for you to understand that what we are doing is what doing, that we are no longer on that stage. That the stage that we are into is a very big stage at this important hour. The stage that we are into, it is a very big stage. Make no mistake. Let it not be that what delays our recognition is coming from Gentle and Buteuzo on their action in social media. The world are watching. The world are not our mates. This is a politics. The politics of recognition is a very bigger one and very complex and very tight. That we almost must mind what we do and what we say. We must mind our actions and name we are calling. All these things are very important at this stage. My message, I repeat, this night, from the UN, from EU, from AU, from US and Israel, to Gentle from this, they are sending this message from Montevideo, from Geneva Convention, to Gentle the Yawoo and Buteuzo. This message, because why I find this message very, very important to send it to all of you, because you always call Donald Trump, you always call Netanyahu. Those countries that you are calling their president, the question is how you are behaving. Is it how their military behave, even when they are fighting Great Britain to leave? Did their military, after their declaration, they refused to work with the government that made the declaration? When Finland declared their own, when Israel declared their own by a woman in 1948, when that woman declares it, those military move away and tell the woman, we are on the ground, we are the one who wear the shoes, we know where impeaching us, you must take instruction from us. And are you the one to choose who will govern the state? We are no longer in military regime. My message this evening will mean no harm. I see you, my senior man, Mazi. Peter, I see you, Mazi. Olushiwa God, Chai, you are God sent. May Elohim protect you and bless you, you and your children, in all you do, and to all every Biafran. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The message will go after we have shared this program to all our people. So if you never share the program, we are not starting. I want to confirm if you have shared this message on your timeline, on your Facebook or any app that we are using. Because this message is very, very important. When we will start reaching this message, when we start analyzing the message, then that is when you will understand how this message, the importance of it. What Gentle Buteuzo is doing is equivalent of what the military of Somaliland did, what the military of Kosovo, what the military of Northern Cyprus did, that delayed their recognition. And when they're acting like that, UN, US, Israel, EU, AU, Commonwealth, all these organizations are seeing you as what? That you are disobeying your government, and on that note, they will tag you what? Terrorist. They will tag you what? Rebel. Our re-declaration has passed maximum 1 year. And all of you have to know the truth by now. It's no longer when we do how we want it and this is how it's supposed to be. No, it is a time of how did those that recognizes Somaliland and what triggers them to recognize them right now. On December 25, that they got recognition on December 26, 2025. Our message is going to be very simple if you pay attention closely. That is why I urge Biafrans that are coming here this evening, please, I ask you to share and like the program. This page is not monetized in case if you may share the program and they will pay me money. That is not the reason why. So please, endeavor to send this message to those that are doing damage control. So send it to those who think that the only way to become a country is by military. in this 21st century that we are into, is no longer in that manner, is no longer working in that way. There is an existing law, there is an existing protocol that nobody will jump. Even Donald Trump cannot jump it. Calling Donald Trump from the bush where you are and showcasing rifle, he will see you as who? Who are you? And how do you want to come address you? How do you want him to send a help to where he's trying to bomb Boko Haram and their terrorism movement? And you also acting like one. We mean no harm. But we want to dish out this bitter to this evening, or this night, this afternoon, or morning, depending on location and your time, even at midnight to you. So, why we are doing this is to let everybody know that what Gentle Buteuzo is doing is going to delay our recognition. Please, that is a bitter truth. Because the bitter truth is when Hadaino will come. I am doing this message to remove Gentle and Buteuzo on this second chance that the spirit of Biafra give them to return back, for them to be very careful and be wise, for them to know that there is a government, that for them to know that if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu adopted Mazi Simon Ekpa to us, that Mazi Simon Ekpa adopted the Congo Rebeze, until today he never said anything openly. He never sent that woman he used that time to come and tell her that you must protect the mandate. When you tell Ngos protect the mandate, that she will understand the code. And that is the code she's using today. That is what the code. So I want every Biafrans to pay attention, and this night, bring your popcorn, keep it very close as we are enjoying this night, because we have gonna go this journey together. We all are going to send this message together. That is why I ask you to like and share. Send on any link you can. Send on any WhatsApp group. It is very, very imperative at this stage that we understand what we are doing, and we must continue. No military in this 21st century will lead for recognition of a country. And nobody will come to rescue you. Nobody will come. If what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never taught all of you a lesson, you that will be inside bush and the calling Donald Trump, Netanyahu, you are disgracing yourself, because you see this Biafra, nobody can disgrace this Biafra anymore. That is why we are here to put our voice to let the world know the truth. That truth is very bitter. That truth is Hadaino. Let all of us that believe in USB keep on supporting and keep us moving forward, because the government is doing absolutely well. They are doing what they can do. What we can do as people of Biafra is what remains. What are you doing? Are you on social media making mockery of yourself, consulting news everywhere? That's what you are doing. We are sorry for you, because at this age we are into, we have gone far. We have crossed Rubicon. We have crossed what? The Rubicon. I am calling on Gentle, Yawoo, and the Buteuzo to listen to this program properly, because everything that's happening at this stage that we're into is happening for a reason. There is more to that, and there is a reason why everything is happening the way it's been happening. We want all of the Biafrans to know, like I said before, please stop. Stop embarrassing yourself. Stop making the world to tag you a rebel. Stop making the world to see you as a terrorist. Stop what will make the world to see you as someone who don't know his left from his right. Present yourself as a very coded military that always remain on silent. It is because at the stage that we are into, we have crossed what the Rubicon. Simply mean it's only Biafra is all we needed. My people, let no one panic. Stand on the side of the US government. You are standing on the right track and on the right side of what will trigger recognition. Recognition is all about government in the paper. In this 21st century, it's no longer what we think, and it is not how we want it. There is those who want it in their own way, but they do not. Do you pray to what happened to Somaliland happened to Biafran people? Are you praying for what happened to what you wish? Is it for what happened to Kosovo, Northern Cyprus? Is it what you wish that you want to happen to us? To have 34 years delay, 40 years, 35. It is not like that. That is why I urge every Biafran that this message what's been like and share, so that everything that we are seeking for, we got it without wasting time. The government of the USB is not, this program this night is not for them, but it's for send it for those that are claiming that they're still men on ground, those that are disobeying the government, those that don't want to take instruction, those that think that a woman cannot declare it. That is why I have counted to you how many men and how many women that have declared their country. And I also have given them of those countries that women declared. And they stand today. They are a country of their own. They stand today. And they are what? A country of their own. Do you like when the only thing that we can do is to be a de facto government, a country that nobody, that we don't have access to defend ourselves or to talk on the international global community? Do you see the reason why it is very, very imperative to pay attention and listen to those important things that matter so much? No military is bigger than the government. Rather, the government is bigger than the military and every indigenous person. This is how all these things have been going, and that is why we are also here this night to send this message. We are sharing, we are doing analysis, we are laying preamble down for you to understand the road or the length we're going to go this night, because we want to create that impression, let the world know that please do not mind them. Let the world not mind what they are doing, because they are doing something as if that they are the one that we go to this organization, which is not by them. My people, as I'm sharing, hold on, please bear with me, because the movement that we're into needs a lot of things, a lot of preamble, a lot of headlines to deal with those that never want us to have our own country. And it can never be happen, because we really know what we want, and what we want is what we are doing. So, my people, the issue of hoping and showcasing military with weapons are not what the world wants from us. The world wants peaceful coexist from Nigeria, and that is what USB is presenting to the world. We also argue. So let no one be deceived. Let no one look at those shenanigans that are doing over there. It's not going to yield any result except US government. Now that we have something that could take us out from that terrorist group, who is IPOB organization, why that the indigenous people has left and walked away? Because they are not part of that thing that is happening. My people, the time that we are into, it is a time that any of us must pay attention closely to understand what we are. So let us continue. Support the government of the USB, that is your own government. Do not mind any shenanigan that is coming from anyone at all. They are not here for you, but they are here to make themselves that they are the power. That is the problem we are facing. But for you to be dragging this power And when you are President Donald Trump, Netanyahu, and they look at you, they understand why you are still remain and why you are not under your government. And you think that they will please to look at you. They will not, because the criteria must go on. Just look at every other thing around and ask yourself, this action or all these things they are doing, who are those that have done it in the past? So, if people has go through that way in the past, and they make it openly for us to understand that in this 21st century, they have removed using military, as that is the people of sovereignty. No, that is not what they want. So my people, on this note, the program will begins right now. I have asked you, please, as you join me, please like and share. There is a 3 dot on your right hand side. This one I'm pointing my hand. Click on that 3 dot to open it. We see like and share. And subscribe if you may. So let us how everything goes, because everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. We must achieve it, and the process has already been done. Let no one pay attention to things that does not matter so much, because that is the area we go. We like to pay attention on things that do not matter so much. The message we are sending is from the Geneva Convention of the United Nations Charter, and all these bodies of the organization in the world, they are all into it. It let us find out if military force is worthy to sovereignty and recognition. Everything is not what we think. So let us go on and listen to the main business we have for today. We have to. So why do we have to do that? Message to Gentle, the Yahoo, and Buteuzo. Listen how the message we play. There is nothing like that. Listen. Let's walk. What is their problem?
Established a state often makes recognition more difficult, or even legally impossible for other countries to grant. Here is how the Geneva Conventions and other international laws view this. 1. The Stimson Doctrine, non-recognition of force. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. This is based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempts to establish its borders solely through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize it. 2. The Geneva Convention's perspective. The Geneva Conventions do not grant country status. They only grant protections. Article 3, common to all 4 conventions. This applies to non-international armed conflicts. It recognizes that a group might have a military force, but it explicitly states that applying these rules shall not affect the legal status of the parties to the conflict. In plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitors a war and treats a liberation army as a party to the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that armies claim to be a country. 3. The effective control versus legitimacy trap. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground, was the main way to be seen as a state, declaratory theory. However, in the 21st century, the world has shifted toward the constitutive theory, where political legitimacy, elections, popular support, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns. Example, groups like ISIS or the Taliban, pre-2021, held territory and had powerful militaries, but they were largely viewed as terrorist organizations or de facto authorities, not recognized sovereign nations. 4. The risk of being labeled an insurgency. If a movement relies only on military force without a functional, recognized government that can enter into treaties, international law classifies the situation as an insurgency or a civil war. The military status. Fighters are viewed as unlawful combatants or rebels rather than a national army. The government status. The declaring government is viewed as a political movement rather than a sovereign state. Summary. What is actually needed? To move from a declared country to a recognized country, in 2026, you generally need 1. A permanent population that supports the declaration. 2. A defined territory, not just a battlefield. 3. A functioning government that provides services, courts, hospitals, schools. 4. The capacity to enter into relations with other states, diplomacy. Military force can defend a country, but it cannot create its legal identity in the eyes of the UN. Would you like to explore how a government in exile, like the BRGIE, can transition from a political movement to a recognized state without relying on military force?
I hope you are listening. This message is going to Gentle the Yahoo and Buteuzo and anybody who is forming any military Biafra land that is not under USB. And the other way around, the consequences is heavy. The consequences of this is very, very heavy. For you who are wasting time, who wants our declaration to become useless, who want to delay recognition, who want us to sell people of Kosovo, Northern Cyprus, Somaliland of yesterday. This message is what UN give me through Geneva Convention to give to Buteuzo, to give to Gentle the Yahoo, for them to take their step back in this second time, that the spirit of Biafra, the spirit of Ikonso has waked them up for them to finish what they started. But if they refuse, the last one will be very disastrous. Listen to how the world, those that grant Somaliland recognition of yesterday, listen to what they are telling us to do. And if you continue in this way, you are acting, you can see. In a short answer, military cannot, in this 21st century, give Biafra recognition. It's like acting for like IPO organization. Buteuzo, Gentle, what you are doing is like acting like IPOB organization that was declared a terrorist. Let's tell ourselves that bitter truth. And because of the mentality of African people that is with us, that is disturbing many of us, that the world knows the truth, and the truth was being written on document and had it somewhere. I advise you, Buteuzo, that internet that used to come outside to talk, please type on it. What are the criteria of a military in Geneva Convention when a new country is being declared? I know you have those who can read the right for you. I know you have those who can explain details for you. That is why I'm calling on Buteuzo, Gentle the Yahoo, to do U-turn before the world, before the UN, before international community. We look at all of you. We start looking for all of you. You better do. Had I know comes at last. If I want, you're welcome. Frank, no, free skill, you're welcome. Ogonaya, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. I can see you. Please call the message, record the voice, send it to any group so it can go viral. That is what you can do for me. If you really know that this message I am sending, this message that UN give me through Geneva Convention of 1948, to give to Buteuzo and Gentle, and anybody who is forming military in Biafra land must be very careful. There is no two governments in the Biafra land. It's only United States of Biafra, really cleared, leading by the Congo Rebels, that are seeking for international recognition with the name United States of Biafra, that I myself has recognized myself that I am from, or I am a citizen of what? United States of what? Biafra. Because the word said that we must first give ourselves recognition. They call it what? Internal sovereignty recognition is what we must give to ourselves. Can someone type in the comment section, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra? Can someone type on the comment section? Can someone tag hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra? Please let the world know that the people of Biafra, we have do what? That we have give ourselves internal sovereignty recognition before looking for any other country in the world to give us what? Recognition. It is very imperative at this stage that we are into. If you're on this page, if you're still listening, if you're still here, please just put on the comment section. Prove that you are from USB by doing hashtag I am a citizen or I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Please. I want to see it in comment section. Listen to this message again. Thank you so much. That is who we are. That is who we are. Look at it from Olushunwa Gods, the big man in the house. Thank you so much. Yes, this is where we are. This is who we are. This is our country. We must continue using it. We must continue using this name in anything we are doing on social media. Nobody is a citizen of Bridge. Are you a citizen of Bridge? No, I am not. I am a citizen of what? United States of Biafra, that are seeking for what? Recognition. I have first recognized myself. That they call it what? UN said that we must give ourselves internal sovereignty recognition. That we are a state. That we are sovereignty. That we are the first to do it. So by you typing it here, simply mean that you are the head that instruction of the UN. We must continue. Listen to this message again that I'm sending to Buteuzo, Gentle the Yahoo. That is why I put their name. And I am sending this message from those that give this message for me to give to them. You call Donald Trump. You call Netanyahu. They all are members of the UN. They are all members of the EU. You don't know? And do you think that they will leave those laws and all this law to come and answer you inside the bush? Stop deceiving yourself. A journalist, you cannot use the freedom of a new country, citizen of a new country. It is no longer what we think and how we see it. It has been above that, what we think. It is on the criteria of all this is the template of the world that they give to us at this stage that we are into. Thank you so much. Continue that hashtag. I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Thank you so much for those that are on that track. That should be the code of this platform from now. The code of this platform remains hashtag I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. I want to give this message when it's very hot. That's why I'm giving this message right now. Listen again. Pay attention.
In short, no. In the 21st century, military force alone is not enough to gain international recognition as a country. In fact, under modern international law, using military force to establish a state often makes recognition more difficult, or even legally impossible for other countries to grant.
Are you listening very carefully? In short answer, Buteuzo Gentle, in short answer, In the 21st century, military force alone is not enough to gain international recognition as a country. In third answer, no. In the 21st century, military force alone is not enough to gain international recognition as a country. This message goes to those who are calling for men on ground, like the so-called Adando should have fly to Finland to come and do damage control. Now, since all this while these men are not talking, she was silent. Now they have given her news to talk. But I want to tell you, I want you to stand strong on where you are. As we proceed to this program, it's going to be an eye-opener to you and I myself on this Geneva Convention. What's the source that makes a country? You can't find it today in the first place in this 21st century. Listen. In fact, under modern international law, using military force to establish a state often makes recognition, it makes recognition more difficult or even legal impossible for other countries to grant you recognition or to recognize you. You see all these videos, see all these pictures that is making headway in social media by Buteuzo and Geneva and all those utterances. They said under the UN Charter, under the UN law that goes through Montevideo Convention, that goes through Geneva Convention, that protects the territory or the military or talk about a new country. They said using military force to establish a state often making recognition more difficult. Buteuzo, gentle, ignorance is not an excuse in the eyes of the law. This is a pure bitter truth I want you to know. This is a pure bitter truth that I want to dish out to you. It's a time for us to, when you are passing on the road or before you enter road, there is an existing people that has passed from where you are coming from. Is it not true? And when you come, if those that are going on the right hand side, you will join from the right hand side of that road. If those that are coming back are on the left right hand side, you will join them on the left hand side. You will not come and block the road and start doing on your own way. And it's also very imperative to understand that military is under government of a new country, not the government under the military or the military to give them order, because the world want to remove anything concerning military regime and the order from such level. That is why when I told you that we will not achieve Biafra with the history of other people that has passed this road that we are passing through today, we can achieve it. It's on that existing protocol, it's on that existing criteria, it's on that existing power, is what we are going to follow. And we are getting to get it. We now that it is all about legal. It's no longer boom, boom, boom. It's not. It's not by showcasing how AK-47, how rapid. No, it's no longer that way. But that they said that line make it difficult for a new country to survive in the eyes of Israel, in the eyes of America. Buteuzo, gentle, make up, Owam, you always come. Donald Trump, Netanyahu. Look at the law that Netanyahu and Donald Trump are looking on it before they can answer you. Look at the law that Netanyahu, Donald Trump are looking for. There is a new existing law in this 21st century that started from 2001 that is going to end 2100. There is a law that guides you having a new country. And that is the law I am giving you this evening. That is the criteria. That is the template that we must follow to achieve recognition. Because in Igbo adage, and as no he can or see a if you alone ibuka, so ebri. Is it what you want us to do? How did you want your action? The action of IPOB that was declared terrorist organization somehow affecting us until this our declaration. Even at this somehow it is because all of us are indigenous people. But that particular organization of Chike, those here, you can see that the seed that was receiving over all these years about a Mapa waffle. Today, nobody bears a Mapa waffle anymore. Think. Under Geneva Convention, this Geneva Convention precisely hold issue of military, both existing country and the unrecognized country like USB. There is a law. There is existing movement. There is a protocol. There is observation. In short answer, no. What are they saying no for? I ask this question. Under Geneva Convention, after declaration of a new country, is it by military action that a new state is going to get recognition? That was my research under Geneva Convention. Article 11 precisely. Gentle, the Yahoo, Buteuzo, Owam, Makeup. Check on that phone that you are using. Ask of what? Geneva Convention, Article 11. Teach yourself if what I'm doing is not enough for you. But this is a message from those presidents that you are calling on their name to come and save you. They believe in this law. They believe in this existing law of Geneva Convention about recognized country and unrecognized country.
Here is how the Geneva Conventions and other international laws view this. 1. The Stimson Doctrine, non-recognition of force. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized.
Are you listening to this? Under the international law, under the UN Charter, these are those who have this sword. These are those that give recognition. That is why you will see Somaliland after 34 good years, when Israel, as a member of UN, granted recognition, there was jubilation everywhere. For these 34 years of Somaliland, their flag cannot be able to showcase when you type their name. Starting from December 26, 2025, after that, their recognition from Israel, if you tap Somaliland, you will see their red flag without wasting time. The Somaliland was being delayed because of military action. I have evidence I'll prove to you after this. In our next program, I will show you countries that because of their liberation military, what they did was why their recognition was being delayed. A core principle of modern international law is that a territory acquired by force will not be recognized A core principle of modern international law in that is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. Got this message sent to many groups until you get to Buteuzo and Gentle and the one. I said that in this second time that the spirit of Biafra, spirit of Kabiama, has waked them up and brought them back, they must change the narrative. Is it how you are acting? Is it how the Israel Liberation Military acted the time they was fighting Great Britain? That is a question to be answered by all of you. And even anybody who is parading men on ground, Biafra Liberation Army. You are delaying it like the IPOB organization who don't know, who don't have road map criteria to make Biafra a country. That is the way you are delaying it. That is the way you are doing it. And is it what you want? So you want, after our sufferness, getting to the level of our redeclaration, you want us to wait for 34 years to fear quoi? Ask them again, to fear quoi? The action of Buteuzo, the action of Gentle the Yawoo, showcasing rifle, the world will tag you what he will hear from here, from this Geneva Convention. This is a law that they use to checkmate any country when their military are messing up, when things are not going to be supposed to be, and when a new country is being declared. This is a law that gives that new country military power to move on in under guide or instruction by this law. Remember this. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. For you who want us to go and be knocking woto on the road, for you that want us to be knocking woto on the road, now come to realization of that why Buteuzo said that after our declaration, that if you're expecting him to shoot one bullet in Biafra land, that he cannot do that. That it will take time to move away Nigerian military and their apparatus. But you want our DPM to do it today and tomorrow. But in this 21st century, a new kind of organization comes through paper. It's no longer through boom, 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 boom. It's not anymore. The world have abolished it, and if they catches you, they will deal with you, not we, because we are looking upon them. Buteuzo and Gentle, this message this evening goes to you, because no matter what, I love you as people of Biafra, as my fellow Biafrans. If two of you can make U-turn by first apologizing to the US government before it's going to be too late for you. You see that thing you are there in the homeland, it goes nowhere. It ends there. But you see that thing that she's doing from up. You see this moment that USB is doing from up is what will bring Biafra. That is why in one of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu broadcasts, he said that Biafra will come from where? Diaspora, not from home. Think. You are hero. Your team, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu said that Biafra will come from where? Diaspora, not from the homeland. Go and find out why he said so. And go and check why he, on his last word in this way, he said, Pharaoh, let my people go. Go to where? Biafra land. not to IPOB organization, not to Bridge, but to a United States of Biafra. He has done it through military, and he could not achieve it. And you know why he fails. And that's why he fails is why he said that Biafra will come at last from diaspora. And it has come. And you are there, making mockery of yourself and deceiving yourself. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry. Chinye, Nwosu, thank you so much. Good evening from here. You must continue. I want to read here again out from this Geneva Convention, the distinction of declaration, non-recognition of force. Non-recognition by what? By force. Let's continue. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized as a country. When you think that we to go to Nigeria and be knocking them day in, day out, that chase them away like you think, the word said that if you try it, that they cannot recognize Biafra as a country. That they are not going to do what? Recognize Biafra as what? As a country. Is it what you want? Is it how people want it? Is it you want us to remain like Somaliland, sorry. You want us to remain like Kosovo. You want us to remain like Northern Cyprus. You want us to remain like Miami. And many more. We reject that from all of you. We did what? We reject that. Let's continue.
This is based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempts to establish its borders solely through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize it.
Now it has come to us. You see this USB, you are talking USB charger, it's everywhere on the internet. It's everywhere on top of the organizations in the world. That is where we are holding all of you. But talk the man at last. Had I know we come. I am doing this program, sending this message to you, Buteuzo, Gentle, Owam, and Jamaica, for people to run away from Hadaino that will come at last. Remember, when Gentle Yahoo was crying of the poison, that is, he's crying, what had I known that I could not go to this meeting with all these governors? But Chukwu Okabiama and the spirit of Biafra brought you back for you to do the right thing at this stage. For all of you to do the right thing at this stage. Because had I known, we come at last. Listen. This based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like USB attempt to establish its borders solely through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize us as a country. For you who wants water. For you who is shouting, the is not doing anything. For you, look at what those that you are calling. Gentle the Yahoo, Buteuzo, Owam, and Ejemekop. Look at what Donald Trump you are calling from. Look at what Netanyahu, a member of the UN, is looking at. Look at what they are looking at. They are looking at what? A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. This based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempt There's one that you and the Buteuzo did not believe in USB. In that one you believe that was not recognized, was not, nobody knows you and them, the world also keeps silent on them. So rethink your step. Rethink first and change your step. And step backwards. And look at what the achievement of you and the danger that are facing you and what you are doing. If a new country like the USB attempt to establish its borders solemnly through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize us as a country, or as what? As a state, or as a nation. I hope the message are going to them. Tag them or share to them, please. Because their message jump into every group, onto Facebook. Let this message go viral so they can be able to grab it and sit down and rethink. I ask them to rethink what they are doing. Let's continue.
2. The Geneva Convention's perspective. The Geneva Conventions do not grant country status. They only grant protections. Article 3, common to all 4 conventions. This applies to non-international armed conflicts. It recognizes that a group might have a military force, but it explicitly states that applying these rules shall not affect the legal status of the parties to the conflict.
I hope you're listening. That is when I said that this Geneva Convention applies to non-organized military, like Gento, Buteuzo, Owam, and Njemeko. The international community call it what? Non-organized military. But the law protects them when they are obedient to the government of the new country. Is it what Geneva Convention is using? He is using the word what? A new what? Country is what Geneva Convention is, because that one is not hiding for anything. This is where everything is. This law on Article 3, common of all 4 conventions. What are these 4 conventions? Geneva Convention, Vienna Convention, Montevideo Convention, and UN on their own. These are convention. They say that these Geneva Conventions are common to all 4 conventions that control the movement of a new country that are seeking recognition. They want us to understand that no matter the conflict, that they may see you who are claiming what you are claiming as what? That you are not prepared, that you are not going to have your country, that you only thing you know is how to cause conflict. Is it what you want to do what the rest of us? Let's continue, because it is very important that we all understand what we are doing and how we can achieve this Biafra we are looking for. Now it has been declared how we can achieve what? Recognition. Military showcasing and all these things must cause a problem. They said that the world will remove their eyes, they will not say a word. Listen again.
In plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitors a war and treats a liberation army as a party to the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that armies claim to be a country. 3.
For you that are calling Donald Trump, Netanyahu, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, in plain English, just because of the Red Cross or the UN monitoring a war and it treats a liberation army as a party to the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that military claim to be a country. They does not recognize them to be what? To be a country. They know that the law protects them. Everybody that's looking for a new country. That's on this world that we're living into. On this particular issue of Red Cross, recognizing on the human rights and all of it, they said that it doesn't mean that a liberation army has been recognized as what that army claims to be a country. The easy one is that the even Gentle, Buteuzo, Owam, and Makeup are not claiming to be a new country either. They are claiming Biafra. They are claiming Biafra. Do you understand? They never even accepted what? That there is what? A re-declared United States of Biafra Republic that are seeking for international recognition. They did not accept at all. This program will be very short. We will come back again in the next few hours because we want you to share this message. We want them to hear this message. I don't want to pass 2 hours. I want to have a maximum 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 40 minutes on the dot. They will end the program. Buteuzo, Gentle, showcasing arms on social media can never make America and Trump to see you as a country. Here it's here from the Montevideo Convention. It said in plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitoring a war and the treaties, treat a liberation army as part of the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that arms claim to be a country, that they did not recognize you as a country. Because of the way the law was being protected, you doesn't grant you what? A country.
The effective control versus legitimacy trap. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground, was the main way to be seen as a state, declaratory theory. However, in the 21st century, the world has shifted toward the constitutive theory, where political legitimacy, elections, popular support, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns.
More that these things that they mentioned here is more important than guns. What are those things? The effective control versus legitimacy tribe. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground was the main way to become an estate. Was the main way to become an estate. Remark this word. In the past, before 2001, military is only way to prove a state. And look at what they use here. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground was the main way to be seen as a state. Declaration of it. Now, however, in the 21st century, the world has shifted. The world has shifted towards the constitutive theory. That is, non-using military to look for a new country. And look at where they shifted to. Political legitimacy, election, legal, popular support, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance are more important than gun and bullets. Are more important than what? Gun and what? Bullet. My senior man, Mike, good evening from here. I greet you. Thank you so much for coming. I am sending my message that I got from the UN Charter, Geneva Convention, Montevideo Convention. I am sending that message to Gentle the Yahoo and Buteuzo and his co-men. You that are always calling Donald Trump, you that always calling Netanyahu, look at what Netanyahu are telling you. You coming out to showcase rifle is not the way. They said here, in the past, having effective control, a military holding ground was the main way to be seen as a sovereign state. To be seen as what? A sovereign state. However, in 21st century, that started from 2001, ending in 2100, the world has shifted towards the military claiming sovereignty. They shifted to where political legitimacy, legal, election, population support, and human rights are more diplomatic acceptance, are more important than gun and military. Than guns and what? Military. This is what Donald Trump, that's Buteuzo, Gentle, and Makeup and the Wama are calling to intervene. They will not. Do you know why? As I am going down, you will see why. You will see the reason why they may not even answer you 1 minute at all. Because the time that we are into, the world has moved away from military takeover to use military to prove that there is a country. The world has stepped aside. We have shifted towards it. And look at where we are. We are on diplomatic, political, legal, population, election, and human rights. Diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns and military. Hey, Biafra Liberation Army, the world are no longer in that era. The world are no longer in this era of proving gun and bullets, proving military. The world has moved away from it. And where are they? That is why I told you, no name, when a new music comes out, you learn how to dance the music. When the new music comes out, you learn how to dance that music. The world has changed from 2001. They have changed that they are no longer using military control, military takeover, knocking woto. That is no longer how what they prove as sovereignty. That's why they said that in this 21st century law of the international community, for you to achieve recognition and have your own country, that the law are very flexible. The law are very, very flexible. And why is it flexible? They now said that the population of the indigenous people are sovereignty. That divine territory, a government, effective control to sign treaties and agreements, diplomatic, legal. These are what the world are on it right now. We must remove our negativity from this movement that we are into. The level has passed this level. The game has changed. The music has changed. When the music changes, you change your step. For how long do you want to remain in the bush? And when they give you what will bring you out from the bush, you totally ignore it and walk away. All of you. Both fall back, both IPOB, both NEC, Kachimezie, those, oh my God, Gentle, Buteuzo, Owam, and Jamaica. No insults, but look at the reality. The world has changed. Can't you change? Donald Trump, we are calling up making new laws, forming new organizations, that will lead in a better way. And you are there, relying, holding gun and dancing and parading yourself, is no longer in that regime anymore. I want to read from you from the beginning to the end of where I am. What we are doing is that I ask you a question. After declaration of a new country, under Geneva Convention, the recognition depends on the action on the military on ground. They say through Geneva Convention, the answer in short, no. That's no. They use what? Capital no is what they use. You know when English use capital no. In 21st century, military force alone is not enough to gain international recognition as a country. In fact, under modern international law, using military force to establish a state often make recognition more difficult or even a legal impossible for other countries to recognize or to grant recognition. Military force, Liberation Army, men on ground, angels. The world don't care about that. Here is how the Geneva Convention and other international laws view you using military by force, woto. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be ever recognized in this 21st century. After our declaration, there is no recognition. Why? What is the matter of that recognition again? Why do we suffer? People contributed money to go to Finland to do what? To declare Biafra as a country that was adopted. When number 2 is here, over 85 people voted that the name you're going to answer is what? United States of Biafra. That is why people travel from all the part of the countries in the world went to Finland to do what? To pronounce and declare what? United States of Biafra, that were declared November the 29th, 2024 in Helsinki, Finland, by Dr. Ngozi Arabeze and other cabinet members, and was signed by over signature more than 500 Biafrans that gather in Helsinki, Finland. My people, the truth is bitter, and the world will hide the truth from us. The world will hide this truth from us. Let's continue. This based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempts to establish its borders through military conquest, the international community has no legal obligation to recognize USB as a country. What of you who never declared and you're in the bush? What are the international communities are going to use to bring you out when you cannot support to bring yourself out? What do you think that they will do for you? Look at the Lord. Look at what their law is telling you. If you who never believe in international law, why are you in the bush and you are calling Netanyahu, you are calling Donald Trump, you are calling UN? As who are you? Who are you? Who are you? If I may ask you. Me, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra. Who are you? Remember, the code on this platform is #I am a citizen of United State of what? Biafra. Remember, everybody on my comment section, the only hard work I give you is that you have to tie hashtag I am citizen of United State of Biafra Republic. Please, on the comment section. Because we, the UN, said that we have to recognize ourselves before another person recognize us. They call it what? Internal sovereignty recognition. I said, the UN call it what? That we must recognize ourselves. That is why I want you to recognize yourself by writing, I am a citizen of United State of what? Biafra. Yes, Shibuze, thank you so much. I am citizen of United State of what? Biafra. That is who you are. Hashtag on that. That is the code every day on this platform. That is the code that we must adopt. It simply means that we have recognized ourselves. We have done our part by internal sovereignty recognition under the UN. You that is calling Netanyahu, you that is calling Donald Trump, you that is calling UN, you that is calling AU, you that is calling all these countries and all these organizations, and that is why I put their name, so you can see what they want you to do and what they hate. The number two, the Geneva Convention. The Geneva Convention does not grant country status, that only grants protection. They only grant what? Protection to you. They are not the one to grant you, because those that grant recognition is all the members that are inside the UN. UN as a language cannot give recognition. But such people that made up of UN, the international community countries, are the one that are giving. And this is what they want to look at, the area they want us to do. Look at the danger when we are showcasing military, when we are knocking woto, when we are proving that it's men on grounds. Article 3, common to all four conventions. This Article 3 are common. This Article 3 controls what? 4 conventions. Geneva Convention, Vienna Convention, Montevideo Convention, and the UN Charter. All are convention. On this one law is these 4 are 4 in 1. 4 in 1. That is what it is. Edith, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, this applies to non-international armed conflicts. It is recognized. It's recognized that a group might have a military force, but it is not a state that apply their rules. Shall not affect the legal status of the present to the what? To the conflict. In simple English, in plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitors a war and treats a liberation army as a part of the conflict, it does not mean that they are going to recognize a military that's claiming a state. Rather, population, effective government, defined territory is what they are going to do, what? Recognize. Please, as you join me, please hit the like button, or anytime that you are going to watch this program, please, I urge you, I beg you to like this program. Like and share the program. Please, I urge you to do that. You know, we might not be many here because we don't run saga here. That is why we might not be many. But if you are here, if you think that what I am doing, what is exactly what we need at this stage, like and share the program. If you are first time coming, there is a 3 dot in front of you. Click on that 3 dot. You will see like and share. Once you click on it, it will open. You will see like and share. Then share the program, if you may. Number 3, the effective control versus legitimacy type. In the past, remark this word, in the past, having effective control and military hold ground was the main way to be seen as a state recognition. However, in the 21st century, the world has shifted towards constituted military recognition to where, listen, political legitimacy, defined territory, population, election, and human rights, and a diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns and bullets and military. For recognition to come, that they value what? Political legitimacy, legal, political legitimacy, legal, population, election, that they, in this 21st century, diplomatic, that these 5 things are more than important than military and the guns and what? Bullets. Are you hearing it? This is what the world are looking from our hand. And I am happy to tell the world that under our acting Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, that she is maintaining this criteria, did not focus on only military to achieve Biafra. No. She moved towards what? Diplomatic, political legitimacy, election, population, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance that you said is more important. This is what she is using, and these are the criteria, these are the level where we find ourselves, and we are trying to maintain it squarely. So those that are making noise does not belong, they are not part of the government, please. But if they can come back from today, it's better for them. That is why I call on General Yawoo, Buteuzo to control their men and let them do the needful at the right time. Stop showcasing you as a social media. That is not how military parade. It's only empty barrel that make noise. So, at this stage that we are into, I hope we are making common sense, my people. Don't know how many people that are here. Do we continue or do we stop? My people, do we continue or do we stop? I want to say the comment section, those who want us to continue and those who want us to stop. Because in such a message that is not beer, that they are Rama, go 247 and all the rest, people don't like to listen to it. Valentine, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's continue. Do we continue? My people. Do we continue? Want to see those who said yes? Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Example, groups like ISIS or the Taliban, pre-2021, held territory and had powerful militaries, but they were largely viewed as terrorist organizations or de facto authorities, not recognized sovereign nations.
Are you hearing it? Now they'll give us what example? They'll give us what example of what they are telling us. Jen, to look at this example. Example, the group like ICC or the Taliban, pre-2021, held territory and had a powerful military, but they were legally viewed as a terrorist organization or de facto authority, not recognized as a sovereign nation, not recognized as what? A sovereign nation. Gentle and Buteuzo, all of you, is it what you want us? Is it what you wish in your own life? Because we will not allow this to happen. So you wish us to stay like people of Taliban and ICC. That's their action. So you don't know that this your action of showcasing arms on social media, dancing and parading yourself, is so primitive and so naive. Because those that know what it takes are not making noise, but rather they are taking the action. That is what we can ever tell you, all of you. Now listen, we have been talking about countries, the benefits and what you don't have to do. Now let us see the risk of being labeled as an insurgency. There is a risk in what Gentle the Yahoo, Buteuzo, there is a risk in what they are doing. There is a risk. Listen, you will see it.
4. The risk of being labeled an insurgency. If a movement relies only on military force without a functional, recognized government that can enter into treaties, international law classifies the situation as an insurgency or a civil war.
Are you hearing it? The risk of this is that they are doing social media. The risk. If a movement relies only on military force without a functioning, recognized government that can enter into treaties, international law classify the situation as an insurgency or a civil war. Are you listening? How they classify those things? How they classify all this your action? How they classify what you are doing in general? Buteuzo, Gentle. They classify it as what? Insurgency or civil war to the indigenous people of Biafra. The risk when that liberation army refuses to take instruction or work under the government, the world sees them as what? Insurgency, rebel, or they are causing civil war, and the world will come after them, not we. The risk of being inside bush. So there is many gain that you guys are getting from that bush. That is why people don't want to come outside. Because if there is not, you could have come outside. We on what? Number 4. We move.
The military status. Fighters are viewed as unlawful combatants or rebels rather than a national army. The government...
Not we, oh. Not me, oh. Not Ngozi Orabezo, not USB cabinet members, not the people of USB are calling you this name, are prescribing this. The military status, fighting and fighters are viewed as an unlawful combatant or a rebel rather than a nation military. Gentle, which one do you want to answer? Buteuzo, which one do you want to answer? Do you want to answer rebel? Do you want to answer insurgency? Everyone here choose wisely. That is why they said the military status, fighters are viewed as an unlawful. They view what Gentle, Buteuzo and his men are doing as what? Unlawful movement. Now that it's unlawful, they give it what? Or a rebel rather than a national army. Oh, Donald Trump, we Biafra from 40 states. Who is your government? Under who? Under which government? Because they said that the organized government that can enter into treaties, sign agreements with other countries. Do you have it?
status. The declaring government is viewed as a political movement rather than a sovereign state. Summary. What is actually needed? To move from a declared country to a recognized country, in 2026, you generally need 1. A permanent population that supports the declaration. 2. A defined territory, not just a battlefield. 3. A functioning government that provides services, courts, hospitals, schools. 4. The capacity to enter into relations with other states, diplomacy. Military force can defend a country, but it cannot create its legal identity in the eyes of the UN. Would you like to explore how a government in exile, like the BRGIE, can transition from a political movement to a recognized state without relying on military force?
I hope you are listening and you are paying attention. I hope you are listening and you are paying attention. The government status, the declaring government is viewed as a political movement rather than a sovereign state. As that day we just declare it, that's how they see us. Now that we have a government, now that we are moving, what happened in Samarin? What actually needed? What do we actually need at this stage for us to, for Israel, for America, to any country in the world, in Africa, to recognize us? What do we need? To move from a declaring country to a recognition country. In 2026, you generally needed what? 1, a permanent population that supports the declaration. A what? A permanent population that supports what? The declaration. A defined threat of the 40 states, not just a battlefield for you who wants USB to turn Biafra territory into a battlefield to be knocking wood. Men on ground, the angels, and those that you start misbehaving. Donald Trump, Netanyahu, in what ground can they come for you? Stop being deceived and stop making mockery of yourself inside bush. For how many years do you want to remain inside bush? Now that they give you a government you're supposed to support to achieve recognition, you are kicking against it because you are using the bush to make business and make some gain. A functioning government like the United States of Biafra government that provides service to the Biafran people. Today they are providing ID card for you, providing the passport for you, and doing 1 or 2 things for us to get recognition. That is what they call words. They call them what? A functioning government. The capacity to enter into relation with other states, diplomacy, diplomatic movement. That the government of the USB are lobbying, are doing it everywhere by themselves. Military force can defend their country, but it cannot create its legal identity in the eyes of the UN. Because of this military, UN will not recognize Biafra tomorrow. What we are saying is this. When you listen to this document from the office of the UN, AU, EU, US, Israel, that's they always called, they are telling you what? That this way that gentle Buteuzo is going is not the best way. It might be very bitter. You might be annoying when you're hearing it. But this is the fact and figure. This is the pure truth that I want us to know. These are the truths. This is what they want for those that are given recognition. We must continue. Because it is in our time and the game has changed. I will play it more once again without saying a word so you can listen from the end from the beginning to the end?
In short, no. In the 21st century, military force alone is not enough to gain international recognition as a country. In fact, under modern international law, using military force to establish a state often makes recognition more difficult, or even legally impossible for other countries to grant. Here is how the Geneva Conventions and other international laws view this. 1. The Stimson Doctrine, non-recognition of force. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. This is based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempts to establish its borders solely through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize it. 2. The Geneva Convention's perspective. The Geneva Conventions do not grant country status. They only grant protections. Article 3, common to all 4 conventions. This applies to non-international armed conflicts. It recognizes that a group might have a military force, but it explicitly states that applying these rules shall not affect the legal status of the parties to the conflict. In plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitors a war and treats a liberation army as a party to the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that armies claim to be a country. 3. The effective control versus legitimacy trap. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground, was the main way to be seen as a state, declaratory theory. However, in the 21st century, the world has shifted toward the constitutive theory, where political legitimacy, elections, popular support, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns. Example, groups like ISIS or the Taliban, pre-2021, held territory and had powerful militaries, but they were largely viewed as terrorist organizations or de facto authorities, not recognized sovereign nations. 4. The risk of being labeled an insurgency. If a movement relies only on military force without a functional, recognized government that can enter into treaties, international law classifies the situation as an insurgency or a civil war. The military status. Fighters are viewed as unlawful combatants or rebels rather than a national army. The government status. The declaring government is viewed as a political movement rather than a sovereign state. Summary. What is actually needed? To move from a declared country to a recognized country in 2026, you generally need 1. A permanent population that supports the declaration. 2. A defined territory, not just a battlefield. 3. A functioning government that provides services, courts, hospitals, schools. 4. The capacity to enter into relations with other states, diplomacy. Military force can defend a country, but it cannot create its legal identity in the eyes of the UN. Would you like to explore how a government in exile, like the BRGIE, can transition from a political movement to a recognized state without relying on military force?
I hope you have listened to this. Like I said, share the message. Let it go viral. From 2021 to 2026, the law that guys having a new country, that was before, that a new country must become a country or something through military. Today, they say that this law they have made it very flexible. And that flexible is from where you see these 4 criteria of 1, a permanent population supports the declaration. 1. Number 2, a defined territory, not just a battlefield. Number 3, a functioning government that proves service. So, this is how it goes, not the other way around. The new music has come. We must learn how to dance the music. This is how the world sees everything that we are doing. So, my people, I play it once again, and we'll draw the curtain here because I want it to be very short. So when they listen, they can be able to finish it up. Listen again until we come back again in a few hours.
In short, no. In the 20th international recognition as a country. In fact, under modern international law, using military force to establish a state often makes recognition more difficult, or even legally impossible for other countries to grant. Here is how the Geneva Conventions and other international laws view this. 1. The Stimson Doctrine, non-recognition of force. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. This is based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempts to establish its borders solely through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize it. 2. The Geneva Convention's perspective. The Geneva Conventions do not grant country status. They only grant protections. Article 3, common to all 4 conventions. This applies to non-international armed conflicts. It recognizes that a group might have a military force, but it explicitly states that applying these rules shall not affect the legal status of the parties to the conflict. In plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitors a war and treats a liberation army as a party to the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that armies claim to be a country. 3. The effective control versus legitimacy trap. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground, was the main way to be seen as a state. Declaratory theory. However, in the 21st century, the world has shifted toward the constitutive theory, where political legitimacy, elections, popular support, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns. Example, groups like ISIS or the Taliban, pre-2021, held territory and had powerful militaries, but they were largely viewed as terrorist organizations or de facto authorities, not recognized sovereign nations. 4. The risk of being labeled an insurgency. If a movement relies only on military force without a functional, recognized government that can enter into treaties, international law classifies the situation as an insurgency or a civil war. The military status. Fighters are viewed as unlawful combatants or rebels rather than a national army. The government status. The declaring government is viewed as a political movement rather than a sovereign state. Summary. What is actually needed? To move from a declared country to a recognized country, in 2026, you generally need 1. A permanent population that supports the declaration. 2. A defined territory, not just a battlefield. 3. A functioning government that provides services, courts, hospitals, schools. 4. The capacity to enter into relations with other states, diplomacy. Military force can defend a country, but it cannot create its legal identity in the eyes of the UN. Would you like to explore how a government in exile, like the BRGIE, can transition from a political movement to a recognized state without relying on military force?
Do you understand it clearly? It's no longer when military is everything. It's no longer when military must be there before the world recognizes you. Even in the presence of you having military, they might deny us recognition. They have give us everything we need to know. So please let the message go viral. Gentle, Buteuzo, and all your boys should understand that the movement they were into is no longer when, because of being on ground, they got recognition. Nobody does that in this 21st century. They do not care about it. So it is very imperative that we all understand it and support US government on this line they have told to make everything peaceful at this 21st century. It is our right. It is our inalienable right. And we must adopt towards the law so we can be able to be doing things that the world will see and they'll know that we are doing the right thing. That is the best thing. How do you feel that we showcase military, showcase Buteuzo? Nobody organized us in the next 34, 45 years. What do you feel? But without showcasing anything, the recognition might come by armies. So it is very imperative that we adhere towards the one. Let all the USB military remain calm and peaceful, because for them to remain calm and peaceful, they are doing the good thing. Hey, Mommy Margaret, good evening. We are coming very, very late as we are about to round off. But because of you, please like and share the program. If you never do that, I would like to play this my message. This message from the UN, from EU, and from US and America. Sorry, and the Israel, that's Angel Makeup, Gentle Yahoo, and Buteuzo are calling. Now, today, I send a message that the law that Donald Trump, all of them signed under the UN, under the Geneva Convention about a new country in this 21st century, how people can achieve their country. So that is why we are here. I want them to understand and see how it is. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sebuzede. Thank you so much. So it is clear that with this military and this the way they are parading, that they said that the world will deny us recognition and they will not look at us. Listen to this for the last time, because I want this message to go viral. So please, someone to cut and share and send to Buteuzo, gentle, for them to their step to let them step their step back. It's the time to rethink and reason.
In short, no. In the 21st century, military force alone is not enough to gain international recognition as a country. In fact, under modern international law, using military force to establish a state often makes recognition more difficult, or even legally impossible for other countries to grant. Here is how the Geneva Conventions and other international laws view this. 1. The Stimson Doctrine, non-recognition of force. A core principle of modern international law is that territory acquired by force will not be recognized. This is based on the UN Charter and the Montevideo Convention, Article 11. If a new country like the USB attempts to establish its borders solely through military conquest, the international community has a legal obligation not to recognize it. 2. The Geneva Convention's perspective. The Geneva Conventions do not grant country status. They only grant protections. Article 3, common to all four conventions. This applies to non-international armed conflicts. It recognizes that a group might have a military force, but it explicitly states that applying these rules shall not affect the legal status of the parties to the conflict. In plain English, just because the Red Cross or the UN monitors a war and treats a liberation army as a party to the conflict, it does not mean they recognize that armies claim to be a country. 3. The effective control versus legitimacy trap. In the past, having effective control, a military holding ground, was the main way to be seen as a state, declaratory theory. However, in the 21st century, the world has shifted toward the constitutive theory, where political legitimacy, elections, popular support, and human rights, and diplomatic acceptance are more important than guns. Example, groups like ISIS or the Taliban, pre-2021, held territory and had powerful militaries, but they were largely viewed as terrorist organizations or de facto authorities, not recognized sovereign nations. 4. The risk of being labeled an insurgency. If a movement relies only on military force without a functional, recognized government that can enter into treaties, international law classifies the situation as an insurgency or a civil war. The military status. Fighters are viewed as unlawful combatants or rebels rather than a national army. The government status. The declaring government is viewed as a political movement rather than a sovereign state. Summary. What is actually needed? To move from a declared country to a recognized country in 2026, you generally need 1. A permanent population that supports the declaration. 2. A defined territory, not just a battlefield. 3. A functioning government that provides services, courts, hospitals, schools. 4. The capacity to enter into relations with other states, diplomacy. Military force can defend a country, but it cannot create its legal identity in the eyes of the UN. Would you like to explore how a government in exile, like the BRGIE, can transition from a political movement to a recognized state without relying on military force?
We don't allow military force. That is when we are in BRIG. We are no longer there. We are what? We are the citizen of United States of Biafra, which I asked on this comment section. We want to recognize ourselves in all our comments by typing hashtag I am a citizen of United States of what? Biafra Republic. That is who we are. But my people, like I said, we are going to do the curtain here, although we'll come back in the few hours to do more analysis and bring more to this. And as we continue to do this up to 1 week for the message to go viral, please, I ask you to share and like the program. Anytime you watch it, let them hear it. Let them understand it. It is our rights for this time around to follow these laws. That is what giving what recognition. These are the laws that gives what recognition. That is the law we have to follow. These are the templates. These are the criteria. These are existing protocol that we must follow. Like when you're on the road, if you are coming to join express, There is those who pass out before you can join. When you come, you queue in the line of those that was there before you, or you queue in the line and be driving. If you are coming from, if you let us know that those are going, you have right hand side, you will join the road on the right side. If those are on the left, then you join. This is how it is. So do not move an inch, because we are people of what? Do you know what I ask you to do that in the comment section? The same this UN said, now they have what they call internal sovereignty recognition. That is what we are doing right now. You type in, I am a citizen of United States of Biafra, hashtag, it simply means that we have done what? The internal sovereignty recognition by ourselves, because they say that we must do it by ourselves before them we come to do it for us. You see that everything has meaning, and everything, there's something that anything at all is working for. Please like the program and share. Don't be afraid, this page is not monetized. Instead of that is why you cannot share. Please, I ask you, if you know this message worth sharing to all these men, Buteuzo, Gentle, if they can listen. That is why I told them from where I got what I'm reading. I am reading from Geneva Convention. Geneva, type on your phone, Geneva Convention. It will come outside. Then start from there asking questions. So you will find out the things that's supposed to be done, and that is what we are doing right now. So my people, we are drawing the curtain here until we come back in the next few hours. Thank you so much for being here. One love, my people. Thank you. Good night.